Hi, I'm Martin, and this will be the post-fight analysis for Froch versus Bute. So let's get straight into it. Really, Froch won TKO 5. Congrats to the man. It was a really good victory for him, especially as being the underdog in his own hometown. I mean, I've had my doubts about Froch, especially the fight with Durrell. I personally thought he'd lost. I think a lot of people thought he lost, apart from the judges, funnily enough, and it was a gift decision. The fight against Ward is obvious. I mean, Froch's got this strap. He can say he's the champ, but he can't say he's the best super middleweight. So, you know, I don't really see the point of the straps at times. So really, you know, Ward's at 1, Froch has solidified his place at 2. There's no one really that's going to beat him. I don't think he can get the Kessler rematch, and I still don't think Kessler will beat him, whether Froch moves up to light heavyweight or Kessler comes down. Bute, I'm not really sure what's next for him. He could fight Ward, but Ward's just not going to want that. Ward wants to cash out. He wants to make some money while, you know, he's still young and fresh, and he's still got the ability to do what he does. And because it's always that slight slowdown in reflexes, and everything can go so horribly wrong. So he's going to want to cash out since he's got a family and he wants something long term. But for this fight, so you know, the first round, Froch, Bute, it looks pretty even. Everybody's happy. Bute's taking the punches alright. Froch's, you know, landing some nicely. You know, Bute's not as elusive as people thought he'd be. You know, you can give it either way. I didn't really care. Second round, it was just Froch. He'd hurt him, I think, if I remember correctly, and he was just going for it. One thing I was afraid of, that this was Bute's plan, and Froch would gas by the later rounds because he's just there giving everything he had. So by the third and fourth, it was obvious that Bute just couldn't. Even by the second, you could say that Bute just couldn't handle Froch's power. It just wasn't something for him. And maybe they thought they were faster than Froch. Maybe that's what Bute thought. Maybe it was the fact that it was a away crowd and it was his first road trip. Who knows? You know, post comments on what you think, anyways. So. Anyway, by then, a few things that I didn't like Froch doing in the first round. He had his hands pretty low. I mean, sure, he boxes like that, but at times, I mean, I think when he hit Bute clean, I don't know why, he just came at him and his hands were just like, it was just like there. And I was just thinking, and Bute supposedly has a 60 to 80, I can't remember exactly, knockout percentage. And that left hand, you never like it looming over you. I know Carl's got a solid chin, and he's only been knocked down once by, I think it was Jermaine Taylor, but still, you don't like to leave something like that up to chance. You know, you don't want to tempt fate. So anyway, he stopped that in the later rounds. I think his team had a word with him about it. So after that, a few things that I still didn't like was the charging in. While it may have worked, somebody who's just a bit slicker than Bute, it's just a small sidestep to the right. As a southpaw, you just sidestep to the right and bam, there goes the right jab, or if you can land it, your left hand. So you know, it wouldn't have been a great deal, and I think if you attempted something like that again against Ward, that would just have happened, except Ward would have gone the other way. That's all that would have happened. And another thing is when he throws his barrage of punches, while they're good and all, he wasted a lot of energy in that. I mean, you could see a lot of them missing. Bute was on the ropes, ducking and weaving, so a lot of them missed. They weren't exactly, you know, some of them did land, I'll give him credit for those, but he's just a lot of wasted energy there. And he's really square when he throws his punches. I mean, he just stands straight square, and you just think that, you know, a well-placed punch could put him on his ass, and it's just not something you want to see, because it wouldn't really be it'd be because due to the fact that he was square, not because the knockdown actually hurt him. And it's one of the basic things you get taught in boxing, and a lot of boxers still do it. When they think, oh, I've got him hurt and I'm going to go in for the kill, they forget about a few fundamental principles that, you know, you should box behind your jab. I mean, if he did his job properly, Froch, not to take away, forget it, I don't really care if you think I'm taking away anything from him. If he did his job properly, you should have had him out by the third. He didn't need to go to the fifth. He should have just kept behind the jab and hit the right hand. And as long as Bute didn't throw back, the ref would have stopped it. I mean, Bute's team already knew. They just thought, oh, we're not, you know, even when the ref was counting, they just came in and said, that's it, we're not having any more of this. If you think it was a TKO, I don't really care. Anyway, next the rematch clause, I think Bute will take the rematch. Why? Just because he thought, oh, I may get a better share at Canada, more money. Wouldn't you take it? Well, tell me what you think. Really, that's about really what I think. I think great. To summarise it all, great work to Froch. I mean, everyone thought he was going to lose. He came back, and he beat the undefeated champ. Took his belt. Not that really matters, but still, it's something nice to hang on your mantelpiece. And can't really say much more about it. Post, comment, tell me what you think. I mean, I like hearing what other people think generally. I would say subscribe, but I don't really do these often. This is my first, and I don't know if I'm really going to make a habit of this. Peace out.